Hey gang, this is Mike with my real estate dojo. What I want to talk about is very, very important. And I see so many of my students and so many people on YouTube and so many people on Facebook and groups and REI clubs telling me the same exact thing. Well, Mike, nobody wants to do owner financing. Mike, nobody wants to do owner financing. Mike, nobody wants to do owner financing. And you know what? That is the truth. Nobody wants to do owner financing for these people because of a couple of reasons. One is that they never offer owner financing to the seller, okay? And then two, if they are offering owner financing, they're using all the wrong words to offer the owner financing, okay? And in my new course that's coming up, I talk about that. But I want to share some of this stuff with you right now because it's so crucial. Um, and the third part is what I really want to dive in today and talk about because there's basically three reasons why people don't get owner financing. I just mentioned two of them. The third part, which is very, very important, is investors don't gauge the sellers to see if they're motivated for owner financing, okay? So if you do the step number two wrong, which is you talk about these certain words, even if the seller is motivated to owner financing, they're going to get their guard up, okay? And you don't want to do that because in negotiation, if they have their guard up, or if you create a separation where you're on this side and they're on this side, then you're not going to get the deal. And that's what most people don't understand about negotiation. They think they have to create separation, okay? Um, Now, it's very crucial whenever you spend money and time advertising that it costs energy, your life. Instead of spending time with your kids or doing stuff that you love, you're advertising. And then two, you're spending money and energy and gas or whatever you're doing to generate leads. When these leads come in, it's very, very crucial that you filter these leads, okay? It's kind of like if there was a river here, you wouldn't just go there and just start sipping off that water. You wouldn't do that, right? We know common sense. If you want to do that, you would take a pile of water, boil it, or you would use one of these filtering system like I talked about in my video, How to Survive. Um, so same thing needs to happen with your leads. You're generating all this raw lead. It's kind of like river water, sewer water, right? And you just don't want to just go sip on that, right? You need to have a filtering system that takes all that water and then filters it down and filters it down and filters it down so you and your team, hopefully their virtual assistants, because you've been listening to me, okay, are attacking the best water, the best lead, the most motivated leads, okay? Now, in this pile of leaves, because again, you got this raw water that's running around, and you got all this stuff. You got to filter. Then you have this pond of clear, crystal clear, motivated sellers. Well, the cream. Okay. Now, in this cream, there's going to be different types. There's going to be people that are willing to do owner financing, and there are people that are just only willing to do cash. Okay. And you're not going to be able to convince the guy that wants to do only cash to do owner financing unless you first gauge his motivation, and then don't use the words, 2 words or 3 words or 4 words that we talk about in my mother course, um, because if you use these types of words, the seller's going to say no. So in this clean pond of water, you're able. These are the most motivated sellers. It depends on your ability to educate the seller, your ability to, build rapport with them, your ability to put your ego away and not create separation and be on the seller's side, right? Your ability to, create love and really truly try to help them out is when the bond happens between you and the seller, okay? And some of the ones in the pond that just want cash, if you explain some of the benefits like I show you in my terminator offer letter. That's why it's so crucial for you guys to get these separate modules, because if you explain the benefits to them and allow them to choose, you're high likely for them to have freedom of choice and come up with a decision themselves instead of be like, come on man, or be like a hardcore closer, or be like, car salesperson. You guys know those people. We dealt with these kind of salespeople. If you're like that, you're not gonna get a owner financing deal. Okay, you're not gonna get a deal 60 cents on a dollar deep discount. Okay, um, the people that do get those kind of deals is because they're truly loving, caring people, and they're going to situation, create win-win situations, and they educate people and they empower people instead of everyone else tries to take away from them because they know that person's in a bad situation. Okay, so wait 1 second. This bike is going by, and my dog's back here. He's not on the leash. Well, he's on the leash, but he's not grounded. Okay, he's cool. All right, so let's go back and talk about now. To get to that clean pile of pond where you can get 60 cents on a dollar houses, where you get owner financing, or you can get master leases or options or whatever, okay, you have to do a lot of filtering. You're not just going to stick your hand on the fucking dirty water and start sipping off of it, okay? And where most people fail is they're sipping on the water. They're giving the pitch to the dirty unfiltered leads saying, hey, do you want owner financing? Hey, do you want to sell your house at 60 cents? And these dirty water, dirty leads, they don't want it to sell it for that. They're not motivated. And so they get discouraged and says, oh, this business doesn't work because they're singing, they're talking to Chinese people in English. See, they don't understand your language. Okay. What you need is this other pond. Okay. This other pond is or water comes from taking this massive river water and just filtering. Okay. Now, how do you do that? I do that all over the phone. Okay. I created my own little system, guys. Okay. That not only do we gauge the seller's motivation, in those systems, there's questions that we ask the seller that is so nonchalant. Okay. That lets us know that the seller wants to do on their financing. Okay, without us ever asking him. And that's the key. Like on page 3 of my seller phone script, that's what I call it, okay? If the seller says yes to that or maybe to that, to the last, on page 3, the last 2 or 3 questions at the very end, if you read it for word, if the seller you're talking to says yes, maybe, or I don't know, let me think about it, any of those things, okay? Then he or she is willing to and receptive to your owner financing, depending on how you carry yourself and the rapport you built with the seller and the way you present the product. Okay, because owner financing has a lot of benefits that cash doesn't, right? I mean, like, the simple thing is 60 cents on a dollar where owner finance I could pay you more. I mean, just that's it, right? Why would I willing to pay somebody a little bit more with owner financing? Because I don't have to get a loan. I don't have to put my social security up. I don't have to put my company EIN up. I don't have to sign a promissory note. I can get a non-recourse. I can get all these benefits. I could do a lease, master lease. I could do so many different things. Where if I had to go get an FHA, it's like I have to follow into like the herd of getting slaughtered. Does that make sense? And the way to do this part 3, what we talked about, okay, to get this dirty water to this over here, you got to use my seller phone script, guys. It's so powerful. I created it all by myself. It took me a very long time. And the reason I created it is because, at first, when I got into the business 2007 fourth quarter, I would run around like most of you guys and, look at homes, or I would run around and do the numbers, trying to find out, what the repairs is, what the ARVs is, and I would do all these little things, right? Now I don't do any of those things. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing is step number 3 is, are you talking to the dirty water or the dirty leads? Or are you talking to the clean, motivated, crystal clear leads that know what they want and they know they got to take some action because they're motivated? Okay. Coming back, the only way to get owner financing deals, guys, is not to talk to this contaminated water, okay, or lead system, the green one. There's nothing wrong with it, but they're not the kind of water you can drink. They're not the kind of water that you can use in your business, okay, guys? So this type of leads that cost money and time and generate, you still have to use what I call my two briefcases. And I'm not going to get into that, but if you're interested, get on my blog on My Real Estate Dojo, and you can learn about how to close 9 out of 10 deals, because you're not going to throw this water away. You can still have use for this water or this leads. Okay, you spend time, energy generating this unfiltered water. But if you want to buy houses at 60 cents on a dollar, if you want to buy houses at owner financing, you have to take this water and filter it, filter it, filter it, filter it. Okay, if you're talking to people here, you ain't gonna get it. If you're talking to people here, you ain't gonna get it. If you're talking to people here, you ain't gonna get it. The only people you're gonna be able to talk to is the ones on this side that have came from here all the way down here. These are the only ones that are going to the pawn shop. These are the only ones that are willing to sell it to you for owner financing. These are the only ones that are willing to sell your home at 60 cents on a dollar. These are the only ones that are willing to do master leases. These are the only ones that are willing to do lease options. These are the only ones that are willing to do leases, guys. These are the only ones. Okay? And if you're talking to people here in this phase, in this phase, in this phase of filtering, or in this phase of filtering, you're not going to get deals. You're going to be frustrated. And many of us don't even realize when we're new that we have to take these leads and filter it down. Okay? And that's why I created my seller phone script, guys. It's just not a phone script. It's a filtering system. And again, if you ask questions on page 3, word for word, the last 3 or 4 questions, okay, word for word, in a subconscious way, I'm asking the seller if they're willing to do on their financing, if they're willing for me to take over their payments and stuff like that, okay, and do any of this crazy stuff without even asking them, okay, and that's the key. And not to get into it too deep, the book sells, the training course sells for $324. Right now, I'm having a sell on it for $49 because I am such a believer, and I want to help you out that if you download this for $49, you're going to be able to get some of these people down here, and you're going to have a lot more chance of hitting the ball because it's coming into your hitting zone, dude. Okay, now when you talk to these people, many of you guys know how to give cash offers. You got to learn how to give owner financing, and you got to learn how to give it, the proper frame for the image that you're presenting to them. Because if you don't do that, they don't know what owner financing is. They just know that, hey, everyone knows how to get a house for cash. Like you go and you sell your home, and they pay you, and that's it. You go to the next home. But they don't know what owner financing is. So you have to do a great job framing it and presenting it to them from the educational level, being open with them, being trustworthy with them, right? Do what you say, okay? You can't come from the part of like, hey, greedy and I just want to make money, because you're not going to get those kind of deals with owner financing like that, man. And the seller can feel that. So you got to, first of all, be a good person, right? And you truly want to help people. And that's the crucial thing. Maybe for 60 cents on a dollar, you can still better like that, right? Because it's not a long-term relationship, right? But for owner finance, it's a long-term relationship. It's kind of like getting married to them. You can be married to them 6 years, 5 years, 15 years, 30 years, whenever you decide your note is, whatever you guys, negotiate. Okay. So it's very important that you build rapport. It's very important that you use my filtering system to take your leads and take them down to this. Because if you're not doing that, and you're running out there and looking at houses, you're running out there trying to do, what is the cost for this? What is the ARV? How much is the cost for repairs? Let me get my construction guys out there. Let me get on the bus and go look at these things. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter, man. Once you've seen one house, two houses, nothing matters besides the most important thing, as I spoke earlier, the fuel. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out and you have a Honda Civic, or if you're a big business and you have a Ferrari, right? What makes these cars go forward is the leads. That's the fuel. I don't care how great your system is, how big offices you got. If you don't got leads, you don't got jack, right? You're going to be going in debt and you're going to go bankrupt, guys. But you could be a peanut like this and you got shitload of leads. You can have any kind of Ferrari you want, anytime. And leads, as I talked about, there's 2 ways to do it. We got the free and we got the paid, okay?
But anyways, guys, I have my new course coming out. It's called my Mother Course. Is 171 chapters. Okay, 171. It's the mother course of all. I talk about wholesaling. I talk about owner financing. I talk about so much owner financing. I talk about fix and flipping. I talk about note creation, guys. You know, being a note holder like the bank. I talk about master leases. I talk about options. I talk about Airbnb. I talk about cold calling, guys. I talk about negotiation. I talk about sales. I talk about how to give offers. Guys, there's 171. I got to go back and do all the hours, but it's like last time, like 85 hours plus. Okay. Oh, it's going to be like 119 hours plus of videos. The mother of all. It's called the Real Estate Investor Mother Course. It's not on my shopping cart. I'm almost done with it. But hey, guys, it's on sale right now. It's going to cost $1,500 retail, $325 for the people that ordered early. I'll keep you updated. But right now, my seller phone script, guys, is $49. 49 bucks. It's going to help you gauge the seller's motivation. Okay, it's going to help you filter from the dirty water to the crystal clear water. It's going to subconsciously ask the seller if they're willing to do owner financing without ever asking them stuff like that. It's going to get their guard up, guys. Okay, it's going to get you all kinds of probing questions that you know everything about the seller, so you can make the best structuring of your deal. Is it going to be a cash deal? Is it going to be a master lease? Is it going to be an option? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Because you have all the information. The way I do it is the lead comes in after the VA filters them. Then we talk to them. I talk to them over the phone, and we get the deal without even going to look at it, because we make the seller do all the work. Because the people on this side, they're willing to take pictures of their house. They're willing to do videos. They're willing to jump through hoops for you. Okay. And if you're using the marketings that I teach you, you're not doing the newspaper where you're sitting next to John, Sally, and Jose, and the motivated seller can easily pick up the phone and call this guy and this guy and this guy. You're doing marketing that I teach you, like my 39 no fluff or my 42 on my website, where you're the only person in front of their face, right? So you find gold, you find an area of gold, and no one's around. It's not like an area of gold and everyone's there, like the gold rush in California. It's not like that, because I don't like that. If I like that, I would be an auction investor. But I'm an insider investor, and I show you in my course, the mother of all courses, the REI mother of courses, that how to be an inside investor, so you create owner financing, so you get non-recourse loans, so you don't have to get in debt under your name, on your social, or your debt to income ratio, guys. All right. So remember, if you want to make it happen, you got to be like the Federal Reserve and create shit out of nothing, and that's what owner financing is about. Okay, you don't want to go sign up your name and get into debt with the bankers, and sign a promissory note, and if you ever default, they're going to come after you personally. Okay, and plus many times they won't even let you have a loan. Okay, even if you have good credit, even if you have a lot of money, after a certain amount of units you can buy, they stop lending to you, because then you have too much debt now. Okay, so that's why you see all these big guys always trying to run around and try to get other people's money to build money, right? Because they're trying to buy an apartment complex, they're trying to buy this, they're trying to buy that, and they're not trying to go to the bank, or they need a way bigger down payment. They're going to put 50% or 60% or something huge, so so they can get kind of the terms they want, and they have to generate money, build money. And owner financing is a great, powerful way, right? It's kind of like exactly that, but you're dealing with the sellers individually, and you're able to do all kinds of stuff you couldn't do with your local Bank of America, your local bank, any of those guys. You couldn't do that. And that's why it's so powerful. So guys, my seller phone book script, 49 bucks. It's only 4 or 5 more days left on it. Is that right, Soraya? 5?
6.
I'm sorry, 6 more days left on it. Then it's going to go back to the normal price. I highly recommend downloading it. It's a game changer. It can take your game to the next level. Right in there, it has so much information on how to give an offer if you're a wholesaler, how to give an offer if you're a landlord, how to give an offer if you're a fix and flipper, all that stuff. How to follow up with them, um, all the questions you need from their bank information, all this stuff. All right now. It's on like 3 or 4 pages for 49 bucks. I sell it for 325. It's 6 more days. Once it's over, dude, it's gonna go back to regular price. I highly recommend you guys get that. And anybody that bought my first deal kit, okay, make sure you get that because that goes adjacent with that module, guys. Get that; it's very important. Thank you so much,
I have a
Hustling.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you suggest to call FISBOs on Zillow?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, cold calling is very, very important, and especially if you want to spend the least amount of money to get the most amount. Now, if you want to, you got millions of dollars, you can run the TV ads and this and this. But if you want to start with very little, you start at your home, Starbucks, and get your old phone out. That liability that you spend 120, $150 a month, and turn into an income producing asset, man. Just blah, 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 blah. And if you're cold calling, guys, make sure you don't just cold call 25 to 30 people a day. You know, you're not going to get anywhere. If you're new to cold calling, you're new to sales, and even if you're not new to sales and you want to go somewhere, you got to hit up 100 to 150 a day. 8 hours. Just if somebody goes to the store and they're a clerk for 8 hours, or they're restaurant manager 8 hours. If you're cold calling, that's your job for 8 hours, right? To build your pipeline, to build a following system. But here's the thing: I don't know, what kind of job you did before, how much you got paid before. But let's just say, my last job. Let's use me as an example, and I was getting paid $10. Let's just say. Well, if I sit here and I do 8 hours worth of calling, that's $80 a day, right? Well, with today's technology and the way I showed you in my VA system, you can hire people in third world countries, use the currency exchange, because there's a lot of power going with what's called the petrodollar. That's what makes the U.S. the reserve currency, and that's why like a dollar in America has more buying power than a dollar in, let's say, India. And it's not going to be dollars, it's going to be rupees. Okay, all right. And so $1 in America will equals in their dollars like 53 rupees. And it changes, right? But see the power, and see how these people are able to uh, become more poor. Because the truth of the fact is that our Federal Reserves is printing money out of nothing and enslaving a whole lot of people. Because 1 ounce of gold in India and 1 ounce of gold in America has the same exact value. So how is it that 1 ounce in $1 in America, $1 in India has such a difference? But since it does, you should capitalize on it like the big corporations do, right? And how can you can capitalize on it and find somebody in India and take care of them, pay them a lot better, and let them work from home instead of the fucking factories that they work at, X, Y, and Z companies you read about. And actually be an activist in a sense that you're helping people, you're empowering people, but they're working for you for $4 a day. So again, let's say if you're out getting paid $10 an hour, and you sit there and you work fucking 8 hours, because that's what you got to do if you want to generate cold calling business, you want to be successful, right? You got to do, you got to start. If you're just starting, you got to put those numbers in. That'd be $80 a day. $10 times 8, $80. The good thing is you're not driving somewhere. You're just sitting at your own home or your Starbucks. You don't have a boss. All that great stuff. You're chasing your dreams, but it's $80. Or if you hire somebody in India, you give him $4, and you can have this guy doing all the fucking digging, dude. Just having him do all the digging. And guess what? He's happy to do it. He's motivated to do it because he speaks English. He's willing to stay up all late night to do this for you, because there's a 12-hour difference. So you're not getting the average people that with the mindset of $10 an hour. You're getting somebody that fucking has the mindset of $100 an hour, $150 an hour, if not more, for $4 a day. And the guy's bilingual. He knows, he has skills. They'll have college degrees, just like your programming, business administration, anything, financing, whatever the fuck you want. So This is how you have to understand the system and use what I call exponential levers. You have to use this exponential leverage. What is an exponential lever? The difference is, for example, Uber and a taxi company. They don't have any infrastructure. They control all the customers. Another example is Amazon. Another example is Airbnb, right? Another example is myself as a refugee to America back in the days after I graduated college. Instead of getting a job and working for the cubicle, I started creating leads and selling leads and then eventually becoming a moving company when Google wasn't even Google, it was just Yahoo and it was just directories. I started SEOing before there was a term called SEO, before they taught it in the universities. So I use the exponential lever to make a 7-figure business with $100 sleeping in my car. So exponential levers are very, very powerful, and anybody can do it. And that's why I'm here to share my knowledge, because as a refugee, my parents are illiterate, right? My mom can't even read the menu. How can I use $100 and have a 7-figure business for 14, 15 years before I let it all go? Not even sell it, let it all go, because I realize that stuff doesn't make me happy. Changing people's lives is what it does. Okay, but there's exponential levers, and I want you to use these things because it's very powerful. Just even in a simple task as cold calling, lead generation, where on Facebook, I do a lot of advertising. I've done advertising, all kinds, a lot of advertising. All kinds, from wrapping cars, mail outs, and there's no comparison to having a human being that's motivated to, let's say, do email extractions or go to the county clerk's office and get data for you, or put your mailing information in order for you, or do your cold calling for you, or take your incoming calls. A lot of investors do all this marketing, but then somebody calls and nobody's there to answer the phone. And you got to think about it, man. Not everybody's working the hours you're working, 8 to 5. There's people that actually have to, sleep during those hours because they have the night shift and they still need a shot. I can't tell you, how many times I'm sleeping and I do transaction on my website because my website is autopilot. I can't tell you how many times my moving companies has booked customers, $500, $700, $1,500, long distance, $5,000, all over a live chat at 5, 6 in the morning or 2 in the morning when everybody would be sleeping. And I had a VA in India just answer them. Question. Guess what? They're calling all these people. No one's there. They go to this other guy's website. Boom. Somebody's there. Hey, can I help you? Yeah, I want to move from Dallas to Houston. Okay, wait, what are you moving from? I'm moving from here into here. How many bedrooms you got? I got this. What I have? Blah, blah, blah. Well, here's your guaranteed price. In the middle of the night when everyone's closed. Well, and let me send it to you. Let me send you the contract. Let me send you everything, so you can see everything in writing. Well, dude, of course they're gonna book. They're gonna trust that. Where the other companies, who cares how old they are, how big they are, 100 years in business, whatever, they're going to get back to them tomorrow. And then try to set up an appointment for somebody to come to look at their property to give them a quote. See the difference? So using exponential levers to answer your question with cold calling is an exponential lever. But now you can multiply that with the VA and have 2 exponential levers. Because cold calling doesn't cost a lot of money. You take your cell phone that's $120, that's a liability, turn it into an income producing asset. All right. So guys, get the seller phone script, because when you're cold calling, if you download my seller my REI mother course, it's 171 chapters. I have a whole this section of cold calling. Okay. How to leave voice messages, how to ask some questions. And if you combine that with my seller phone script, that's all you need. And you got to add action to it. To that, you take the VAs, you do the cold calling, you add the seller phone script, you're going to have one machine of lead production. Okay. And from there, you could easily just sell these leads to someone if you don't know what to do. And you get money for it. That's how I started my moving company. All right. Or you give it free to someone and say, teach me. Right. And then maybe that guy's coming and they'll hook you up with some money too. Right. Or you could give it to someone for free and they could fuck you over. But you know what? Then that's the motivation you need to get your ass and do it yourself, because that's exactly what happened to me. I did the same thing when I got in the real estate business. I was generating so much lead. I went to an REI club. Some guy was speaking. I went up to him and I said, "Sorry, I wanted to learn his thing," and I give him all these leads, like over 100 leads in 1 week. And I followed up with him. He would never get back with me. And I went to the county clerk's office. I realized he's closing his deals, and he basically fucked me. But that's what I needed to put the fire up my ass so I could get up and do this shit myself, because I was in a cushioning area, in a comfort zone. I had 3 businesses. I really didn't need to invest, even though I knew this is the best time to do it. 2007 fourth quarter. Why not? This was the best time. It was a crash everywhere. I knew that could change my life. I was an exponential liver at that time. Everyone, their mama was running this way, out of the fire. I was running inside of it. So use exponential livers. The seller phone script is one example of where you take massive leads and you filter them down through my systems, and you have so much information about them, so you create a win-win situation. So the seller wins and you win. It's not about just you. The seller got to win too, man. Right? The seller got to win too. The more you can help them win, the more you win. And that's in the story, guys. You don't have to like thief them and persuade them and shit like that. It doesn't work like that. This is their home. All right? You got to be honest in business, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Any other questions?
Isai wants to know, how do you find absentee owner numbers?
Very, 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 very good question, man. Okay. I love that one right there. Okay. And I actually have a course on that. If you go to my website and type in the mass PLM system, basically this is a 2 course. This course talks about how to find the phone numbers of the absentee owners. So there's the module on that. But more importantly, it talks about my filtering system on the list. So if you have a list, again, this is a dirty lead sheet, all right, and you have a list of absentee owners, right? Now, in this second part course talks about how you should not send letters or postcards to this whole list because it costs so much money, right? Like last time I checked, it was like, what, 50 cents a dollar a stamp? How much was it? Like 50 cents a stamp? I have a video. You can go look on my blog. We do all the numbers for free. But it costs so much money. And so what you need to do is take this contaminated lead, which is very important because this is a targeted contaminated lead, all right? Which makes it not as green, but it's not 100% there yet. You take that and use my filtering system, right? You take these people and, again, take them to this clear coastal water. And the way you do that is by using systems that I have in the course on module 1, which you find the seller's information, you contact them, and you have your VAs contact them, okay? And then the ones that show their hands, that show motivation, and then you start, reaching out to them. But I show you how to do it exactly in this course. That's a very, very good question. In that course, we also show you how to get it for not only absentee owners, expireds, any place. You're driving around and you see a house for sale, or you see it boarded up, or you see a state city violation, or you see grass up, whatever, you can just pull it up and pull the owners up and try to contact them. Okay, so it's very powerful. And if you combine it with the mailing filtering system together, that's what the PLM system is all about, guys. And you can get it right now. I highly recommend it. It's very effective, guys. Good question. Anything else? All right, guys. Remember my seller phone script, $325 right now, $49. It comes with a phone script. It comes with how to give offers. It comes with how to evaluate the deal. Plus, it comes with a 45 minutes, 1 hour training video that talks about how to do that, guys. Okay, highly recommend it. If you use it, you're gonna have success, especially if you take action. Hustle and bustle. Don't take no for an answer. 6 more days before this offer is over.